We've recently arrived home from a 3-week cruise around New England and Canada on Cunards QM2, and whilst we were in Canada, visiting Montmorency Falls was top of our to-do list. I always do loads of research whenever we go away, so I don't want to miss a thing, and want to make this guide to help you plan your day at the falls. We'd wanted to visit here ever since we saw a well-known Scottish comedian visit the falls on a similar cruise. There were of course plenty of cruise ship excursions on offer, all of them sounding pretty good, but not only were they very expensive, some around $140 each, they were also visiting other places around Quebec, and we were worried if we did one of these tours, we wouldn't get to spend as much time at the falls as we wanted. And after our own self-excursion day, I'm so glad we decided to do it this way. We visited Quebec at the end of 2024 and we had amazing weather, but we were also overnight in the city, which meant we had plenty time to explore, and Quebec was by far our favourite destination. I think it's got something for everyone. Because we were overnight, we started our day touring the city before getting a cab to the falls around 12:30 in the afternoon. There are buses to the falls, but because we were at the cruise terminal and there was very good free Wi-Fi, we booked an Uber. This cost us 27 Canadian dollars, which is about £15, and it only took about 20 minutes to drive to the falls. Our driver was amazing. He chatted about the city, pointed out a few landmarks on the way, and even told us when to get our cameras out ready to take pictures, as we'll be approaching the falls from the bottom. You do have to pay to enter the falls, which was also around 27 Canadian dollars, so just about £15 for the pair of us. Our cab dropped us off at the top, and from there it's just a short walk to reach the bridge. We were both incredibly excited at this point, and we could hear the roar of the water and see the falls through the trees. When it finally comes into sight, it's truly amazing. Yes, it was busy, but we visited on a Saturday. We didn't mind the crowds, it was absolutely worth it. On our first go around, we must have spent about half an hour walking back and forth along the bridge and looking at the water cascade down. Our driver on the way was keen to tell us that these are the highest falls in Canada, higher even than Niagara, and according to Google, the waterfalls are 83 metres tall, which is a full 30 metres higher than Niagara. After this, we were getting hungry, and it was lunchtime, so we went back to the restaurant, where I managed to persuade my wife to try the poutine, Canada's national dish. There were 2 types on the menu, traditional and the special with chilli, and we both decided to have that along with the local beer and the cocktail of the day. This was the only part of the day where we made a mistake. There was loads of food on the menu, and we should have looked around to see what other people were eating, because when our food came out, the portions were huge. We could have easily shared one between the pair of us. Having said that, our bill was less than 70 Canadian dollars, which, considering where we were and the view we had, I thought that was amazing. After this, we went back on ourselves to the falls and walked down the steps to the bottom, which we'd seen from the top. We'd spent ages on the bridge looking down to see the people right on the bottom of the viewing platform where the spray was hitting, and we wanted to see the view from there. And I'm glad it was a sunny day because we got quite wet, but because of the spray we were surrounded by some of the most amazing rainbows I'd ever seen. We then started to think about heading back to the cruise ship, and we had a few options. I know there were buses from the bottom and the top of the falls, but the one from the bottom wasn't direct. We could have gotten a cab back. Luckily there is free Wi-Fi at both entrances to the falls, at top and bottom, so you can call a cab from there if, like us, you didn't have any roaming on your phone. Annoyingly, whilst it was less than $30 to get to the falls, to get back the cost in the day was closer to $80, which was a bit too much for us. We ended up saving money by getting the cable car back up, which I think was about $30, and then getting the bus back. The bus is cheap, it was only about $4 each, but they don't take card, so we ended up paying a little bit more because we didn't have the change. Someone at the bus stop did tell us that you can buy tickets in the shop opposite, but we'd already been there a while, and I knew if I went to the shop to get a ticket, I'd end up missing the bus, only to save about 2 Canadian dollars. The bus ride is about an hour back, and it drops you off at the Gare Palais. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. From there, it's an easy 15-minute walk back to the cruise terminal. I'm so glad we did this excursion by ourselves. We met so many people back in the ship who did an organised excursion, and they said they didn't have nearly as much time at the falls as they want. In total, we spent about 170 Canadian dollars, which is about £95, whereas an excursion from the ship would have been more than double that, and we had a pretty amazing lunch too. I hope that helps anyone out there plan their own excursions to the falls. Thanks for watching.